Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome back to Real Raw Rentals. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a rental analysis of the second property I purchased about a month ago. So this is all information that I talked about in my previous video, so I'll go through this pretty quickly. But the property is a single-family home in St. Louis, 2,000 square feet, 3-bed, 3-bath, with a 1-car garage. It has been updated fairly recently, and it was listed for $114,900. I ended up offering $120,000, and that's because my real estate agent really made it seem like there was no way I was going to get the property for under that, even though I was paying in cash. Now, looking back, I think I could have gotten it for a lot less. In fact, I think I could have gotten it for listing price or maybe even a little bit less. And so while I don't regret purchasing the property, I regret how much I offered for the property. I did purchase the property with a stable tenant already in place who pays $1,000 per month, and their lease ends on July 31st. Now, in terms of the analysis that I did for this property, I ended up doing 4 different cases. My best case scenario, my most likely case scenario, the worst case scenario, and most likely case scenario with the loan that I'm trying to get on the property. The first 3 analyses that I have listed here, I did as cash offers because that is what I paid for the property, and currently I do not have a loan on the property. And so let's get into the first analysis. So for these analyses, I'm using the Bigger Pockets rental property calculator. So in this case, I am doing the best case, or what I think would be the best case. The property is in St. Louis. So the purchase price was $120,000. The closing costs were $1,423. This is a lot less than you might expect, and the reason for that is because I got a lot of deductions back when I closed. Those deductions included the rent from that month, the security deposit, the portion of the property taxes that they owed for the part of the year that they owned the property, and some more items. And so in terms of the loan details, I purchased this in cash, so I don't have a loan. The rental income is $1,000 per month. The expenses monthly for property taxes are $136. Insurance is about $62. And so this is the best case where my repairs and maintenance would be about 5%, vacancy would be about 5%, capital expenditures would be about 5%, and my management fees is 7%. Currently, I know my management fees are 70% because I am paying $70 a month for the professional management versus the more typical 9 or 10% per month. All of these other items are paid for by the tenant, so if I update my analysis, I get a monthly cash flow of $582 per month, which is pretty good, and my cash-on-cash return is 5.75%. Now, that's not as good, but the goal for me is cash flow versus cash-on-cash return, and I did buy this property with cash. So if we go over to my medium case, again, same property in St. Louis, the purchase price is the same, closing costs are the same, also a cash purchase. All of these items are the same until we get down here. In this case, I put my repairs and maintenance at 8%, vacancy at 6%, capital expenditures at 8%, and management fees still at 7%. When I update this analysis, I get a cash flow of $512 per month, and my cash-on-cash return decreases to 5.06%. And then lastly, my worst-case scenario. Again, all this information is the same until we get down to repairs and maintenance. I put it at 10%, vacancy I said 8%, capital expenditures 10%, and management fees 10%. So I bumped it up to 10% in this case for the reason that there may be a time when I would either have to or choose to change management companies. And if I did, most likely the management fees would increase. So if we continue down, update analysis, the monthly cash flow drops to $422 per month, and the cash-on-cash return drops to 4.16%. So none of these values are home runs by any means, and I kind of knew this going into the property. If I had known what I know now, I probably would not have purchased the property, but it's kind of too late for that. And overall, I'm not upset that I have this property. It's more that I just think I could have gotten another one. But this is only my second property, so there's plenty of room for growth. The biggest issue I see is when I go over to my middle case scenario with a loan, I wasn't as concerned about how much it would cash flow once I got a loan. The issue is I should have been more concerned about that, because when I go through this, everything's the same, including the expenses and all of this, given what I considered my medium case or my most likely case. However, I changed the loan details to put 75% of the purchase price down, which is $90,000. Essentially, what I mean by that is when I get a home equity loan, I would hopefully get about $90,000 out. Now, that's also assuming that the property appraises for $120,000, which at this point I'm not even sure about that, because I do think I overpaid for the property. The interest rate that I put here is 4%. I've heard with home equity loans, the interest rate you get can be higher than what you might expect or what you might get if you just took out a normal mortgage at the beginning of the process. When you update this, I have to go out to the bottom. So this is what is not great. The monthly cash flow is only $82 per month, and my cash on cash return decreases significantly to 3.14%. Now, like I said, I'm not as worried about the cash on cash return because my focus is monthly cash flow, but this monthly cash flow is pretty bad. Now, I'm pretty new to this, and so this probably would be obvious to other people, but I was expecting that if I got a mortgage, my cash on cash return would actually increase, because I know a lot of investors get mortgages as leverage so that they can put less cash down and, yes, decrease their monthly cash flow, but theoretically increase their cash on cash return. In this property, it seems like that is not the case, that my cash on cash return significantly decreases. However, I'm not sure if that's just a situation for this property or if that happens more on a regular basis. So if we go back here, these are my next steps. I've put the ones that are really important and need to get done very quickly in red. And so first of all, most important is I need to get home insurance. The fact that I've owned this property for a month and don't have home insurance is extremely bad. So that is my first priority that I will do right away. The next thing is I need to figure out whether or not I should do some minor repairs now on the property. None of them are vital, and so I could just wait until there is a turnover. However, I am trying to get a home equity loan, and so they're going to have the property appraised, and if I do these minor repairs now, the property might appraise more. I'm not sure about that, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. And so if I do decide that I should do the minor repairs now, then I'm going to reach out to the property manager to get that done. Now, the thing I have a question about is whether or not I should send a letter to the tenant. This tenant is great, pays always on time, and takes good care of the property, and so I would love to keep this tenant if possible. And so while I know it's not common to reach out to a tenant when you already have a property management company taking care of everything, I think it might be helpful to make sure the tenant knows that I want to take care of them and the property, and to let them know that if they ever have any issues with the property management company, that they could reach out to me. My only concern with doing this is that I don't want them to be coming to me with problems. I still want them to go through the property manager. But if they have any issues with the property manager, I want to make sure I know about that. So I'm still undecided on that, but I am leaning towards sending them a letter. And the last thing, which is very important, is to start applying for a home equity loan. I'm getting a little bit stressed about whether or not I'm going to qualify for a home equity loan. I had a really hard time getting a mortgage on my first property because I'm an independent contractor, and that makes getting a mortgage or a loan a lot more complicated. I still have almost 2 months until I close on property number 3, so I do think I have a decent amount of time, but these processes always take a lot longer than I expect, and so I really need to get on that in the next few days as well. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like it below and subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this, including my March financial update, which I will be posting in 2 weeks.